under the radar guys doesn't necessarily mean people that you have never heard of as a baseball player. Like, I put Paul Goldschmidt as an under the radar player. If Pete Alonso is to depart as a free agent, everything that you've heard anyone talk about is you just pivot and you sign Christian Walker. Paul Goldschmidt, although at 37 years old, it looks like things may be trending the wrong direction, and he's certainly not the MVP candidate that he once was. But there was a couple like underlying things that made him kind of interesting. If Pete walks, that you could sign him for a 1-year deal. His exit velocity, 91.2 miles an hour average, 82nd percentile in baseball. His 10.7% barrel rate was in the 73rd percentile, and his hard hit percentage of 49.6 was elite in the 92nd percentile. So Paul Goldschmidt is still hitting the ball hard. It's a little more on the ground than it has been previously, but maybe this is a swing tweak or two away from not unlocking MVP called Paul Goldschmidt, but unlocking above average first baseman for a year. I wanted to approach it much more like, if they can't keep Pete, what's an option? And Goldschmidt is one that stood out. How about an option if they don't get Juan Soto? Because I still think if Juan Soto leaves, the Mets are probably still going to be looking for an outfielder or two. We talked about Cedric Mullins on last week's episode, and I'm now seeing that float around in mainstream media, so it makes me feel somewhat smart. A corner outfielder that wasn't tied to a qualifying offer, probably could be had on more of like a 2 to 3 year deal. Tyler O'Neill with the Red Sox. Defensively, he plays both corner spots. He's a touch below average from a range perspective, has a plus throwing arm. He broke out in a big way offensively this year. Had an OPS of 847, 31 home runs in just 113 games. He has, missed some time due to injury.
That's always the key with him.
Yeah, so you have to pay attention to the injury risk there. But if you're looking for a thumper in the middle of the order and you don't get Juan Soto, Tyler O'Neill is obviously nowhere in the stratosphere of a player, but it would be getting an above average right fielder